This video is brought to you by the following sponsors. KS Designs. If you're looking to update your kitchen or bathroom, KS Designs of Mapleton is here for you. Bash CRT Insurance, with offices located in Amboy and rural Mapleton, is your full-service insurance provider. Give Jeff, Derek, or Nathan a call today for professional and prompt service for all your insurance needs. All across America, small towns that popped up in the 1800s are experiencing change as the modern world collides with the past. Schools, homes, and businesses that stood for a generation are transformed, sold, or fade into memory. Located in the heart of Mapleton is a modest white structure that not only has undergone its own transformation through the decades, but now holds the treasures of the past. Today we're visiting the Maple River Heritage Center, which has a collection of research and artifacts that stretch back to the early days of settlement.
Hi, I'm Colleen Lindeman. I'm the director of Maple River Heritage, the museum here in Mapleton. We started the organization, about 25 years ago now. We opened officially in 2015 in this building. The building before was a cafe that most people know as Lindell's. And the organization is to preserve and we are a trust to be able to keep our heritage here in town so that the future generations that are coming will have to know where these people came from. And the majority of the people that came and settled here originally were mostly from German or Scottish descent. Therefore, you'll see a lot of things that have to do with Scotland here in town that are very prevalent because they try to keep those traditions alive, and many of them, like curling and Bonspiel and Burns Night, are still going after all these years. 1856 was the first people that immigrated, and so we have documents that go back that far, personal diaries and membership books, that kind of thing, locally. And so we are working very hard to keep that alive and going. Going forward, our building is completely maxed out. If you look around in our building, you will see that we don't have an inch to spare. And so we're having to make very difficult decisions as to whether we take artifacts in because we have no place to store them. And this is a very rich community as far as our heritage, and it's a shame some we pass on to Blue Earth County and some people just say, well, then I'll hang on to it. So we are looking to expand by having a larger building. At some time in the future, we've already got a building fund started. And going forward, we are going to be doing some fundraising to get that building going. We're looking for a permanent home that's larger right now.
You can visit the museum by appointment or on Saturdays when it's open to the public. I asked Colleen to give a small tour of the facility. We
are in our general purpose room. This is the room that we receive our artifacts into, and so this is where we do our work. So as an artifact comes in, it all has to be labeled and it all has to be recorded so that we can put it away. This area that you're looking at here is actually our library. So artifacts that are coming in here, or family history from the community, old documents, that type of thing, books. On this side, we have our file cabinets, so they've got histories, newspaper history, perhaps an abstract or biography of someone. So they're stored here. Here are our atlases. So anything that goes back to the original one, which is an 1874 state atlas. On this side, this is our this cabinet here for display purposes is our first histories, our first Main Street, our first mayor, our first buildings, our first merchants. So that particular cabinet is displaying that. In this cabinet, we're just displaying documents that we use during our archiving. This is our gift shop, so that it's just different articles or books that we've got that we are selling as a fundraiser towards what we have going, keep our lights on, that type of thing. We'll walk up into the museum here. We have display cabinets for different, this particular one is on Bonnie Lass Girls. We've got right now a display up that's Mapleton Main Street. So our displays change with time, usually 2 or 3 times a year. So right now the display case that we have going is for Mapleton Main Street. So we've got a lot of pictures and artifacts of that. Around the corner over here, we've got more as far as the same display purpose. As you can see, as you look past some of the articles, that we are maxed out. So most all of the display cases that we have in the building are also artifacts, as this one came from Blue Earth County when we had the guns that came from Lawrenceville, and when they disappeared, then we bought the cases. The display case here came out of Trundle's store. Many of the display cases in the other room came out of Kearns and other local businesses. This room is actually for what you see behind the display case here is our archives. And so when an artifact comes in and it's not on display, we have to store it somewhere. So I'm going to take you inside, and please be careful, as it is very, very full. And if you look, these artifacts here are waiting to be archived. So they have been taken in, they've had their paperwork done on them, but they have not got a permanent home. Moving forward, you can see that we are very, very full. And going forward, once they are archived, they will get a permanent home, and it will tell you where they are, where they're going to, where they're stored at, and that's all entered in our computer, so that we know to be able to pull those artifacts back out, to be able to put them on display or when someone comes in to visit. We have histories of families, we have histories of objects and what happened here in the town.
Not only does the museum hold a lot of history, but the building has had several uses through the years, which Sandi Garlow explained for me.
The museum building itself has its own unique history. It originally started as a vet clinic. I believe it was a Dr. Phillips, is who we believe it was for. Then it became a home in the 40s. It was the home belonging to Leroy and Pauline Bach family. The next owners of the building, it became a slaughter and smokehouse run by Dietz's. And then in 1973, Lawrence Bergmeyer turned it into a cafe, the cafe here, and in 1976, Del and Linda Hensley took it over, and we are unsure of the exact date that it ended, but the museum officially opened in 2015 here in the building.
So from a smokehouse to a cafe, and finally to a museum, you can visit the building for either entertainment, curiosity, or research to look back on some Maple River memories. If you're looking to update your kitchen or bathroom, KS Designs of Mapleton is here to help. Kyle Seberg and John Franta can help create the perfect custom design for you. They're available to measure projects or meet at the showroom anytime, including evenings and weekends. The KS Designs showroom has several displays of cabinetry for kitchens and baths, plus vanities, countertops, and more. Take home samples and see how your project will look with computer-generated drawings. KS Designs can take your old kitchen like this and transform it to this. Let Lisa and John Pfeffer tell you all about their recent experience with KS Designs.
It was very tiny. You could maybe have 2 people in the kitchen at one time. Otherwise, you were all over each other.
Yeah, now that we are empty nesters, we've got a little bit more funding to play with some different things, and the cupboards needed to be either refinished. The finishing was coming off. They needed to be redone. There was a bunch of other things too. The floor, the tile on the floor was covering up what we love as a beautiful hardwood floor, and so we were going to either fix the tile because the tile was starting to break up, or we were going to pull it up, and we decided to go that route. And then the countertops needed a little bit of work too.
We wanted to kind of keep our business local.
And I remember Kyle from a student. He was a real good hard worker. He was real attention orientated. He was real focused on details and getting things done right. So I thought, well, that'd be a good fit. Kyle and John both were real good to work with. They met with us 2 or 3 times before we even did any kind of exchange of designs. In fact, the design process themselves, they redrew up the plans 2 or 3 times, as we would see something and come home and try and hold it up and see if we like it. And maybe we could do this, maybe do that. Both John and Kyle came out during the snowstorm to meet us up at their shop in order to walk through. They went through a plethora of different wood choices and color choices and styles, and it was really overwhelming to my wanting to be, but it gave Lisa a ton of different opportunities to explore what would match, what wouldn't match, what she liked, and they were real patient in working with us on that.
During the construction phase, they were always available. They were on site, making sure measurements were right, and we were happy with the product.
And working with an old house, you find walls that aren't as straight as they should be, and they were real good about fixing things on the fly, so to speak, where things didn't line up and they could figure out how to make it work.
Now that they're installed and we're using them, we like the self-closure of the drawers and also the cabinet doors too.
Yeah, I like the depth of the cabinets. I like the ability for them to close as well. Just the overall look and appearance really worked well with everything else we did with the remodel on the floor and the rest of the trim. It came out really, really nice. I just really enjoyed working with these two. They were very, very professional, and they were very easy to get a hold of, and they would come out at a drop of a hat, and if needed, to fix something or to talk about something.
Call 507-317-5714 for an appointment today from KS Designs of Mapleton.